Greetings. For today's practice, we're going to learn a pranayama practice called Brahmari, or sometimes I'll call it Brahmi. It's like a short nickname for it, breath. Some people actually call this breath the bumblebee breath, and you'll see as soon as we start to practice why people refer to it as the bumblebee breath. It'll become very, very clear. So let's start. Let's come and find a comfortable seated position. For me, that's going to mean sitting on a bolster. I'm sitting on a pretty firm bolster right now. But for you, that might mean just scooting up forward on the edge of your chair and making sure that your sits bones are firmly rooted into a chair, a couch, maybe the edge of your bed. If you're sitting on a couch or the edge of your bed, make sure you can place your feet on the ground. And if you're seated like I am in a cross-legged position, make sure that you're actually really comfortable in this shape. We want to be able to have our spine nice and long as we're in this position, and we want our rested chest to be nice and open here. So our arms are falling down to our side for now. Just for now, we're going to use these hands in a moment. And we're feeling that the spine can be long and erect, that there is space between the vertebra in the spine. In a traditional Brahmari breath, we are symbolically severing all of the senses. So why would we do something like that? Somebody like me, who is very productive, like a go-getter in the world. I'm sure a lot of people watching YouTube videos on breath practices are like that. So if that's you, you're in good company here. But we close off the senses when we're practicing Brahmari breath so that we can turn inward. And you'll find that the breath is very grounding and very cooling, very calming, very cooling. If you're a person who runs hot emotionally, this is a great breath practice to do once a day. It's a breath practice that I do once a day that I really love. So first, we're just going to learn a super simple way to practice Brahmi breath or Brahmari breath. And we're going to do 3 breaths like this. To start, you can just take your index fingers. Don't do this yet because you're going to want to be able to hear me, but we're going to plug our ears. With our ears plugged, we'll take a deep breath in and we'll hum on our exhale. Hum for as long as is comfortable for you. Now, when we plug our ears, we breathe in and we hum on our exhale. We're also going to close the eyes. So I'm going to do this now, and I'll leave the recording going. I'm going to invite you to do this along with me. You won't be able to hear me. You won't be able to tell if I've stopped or not. So for yourself, just breathe out on your exhale, make your hum, pause, take another deep breath in, and do it 2 more times. So we'll do this breath a total of 3 times, and then you can open your eyes and you can start to take in the video again. I'll tell you what's next. Let's begin. Closing the ears and taking a deep breath in. Very good. To me, it's irresistible to sit in that quiet that is the outcome of Brahmari breath. Just for a moment, even if it's just for a moment at the end of the practice. So let's take this one level deeper. So I said at the beginning that the traditional practice is done with a mudra that symbolizes the severing of the senses. This is a part of the pratyahara limb of yoga, where we start to pull or cut our focus away from our external senses and turn them inward. To do that, we use all 5 fingers. We symbolically plug our sense of sound by placing our thumbs over our ears. And I use my thumb to press right into that area on the ear and press it in toward the whole severing sound. So pressing it in toward the ear canal. The index finger rests just beneath the eyebrow, and the middle finger rests just over the edge of the eyelid, symbolizing cutting off the sense of sight. The ring finger rests just next to the nostrils, but doesn't cut off the nostrils because we do still need to breathe in this practice, but we're symbolizing cutting off the sense of smell. And here, our pinkies rest just over the sides of the mouth, gently encouraging the top lip toward the bottom lip, symbolizing severing the sense of taste. And all 5 fingers are pointed inward, symbolizing severing the sense of touch. So we're cutting off all 5 senses and we're turning inward. The hum, as you probably got to experience in that last round, deeper facilitates our turning inward and gives us something to focus on. I don't worry too much about where the attention is when I'm taking on a pranayama practice like this. A great teacher of mine once said, "Who cares what you focus on? Just do the practice," as it relates to pranayama. These breathing practices, they are doing the work on us. All we have to do is show up and do them, really, and we'll get something of value out of it. So we're going to try it now with the full mudra, which, if you just want to see it, looks like this all together. And you want to be careful in this mudra that you're not pressing down on any of your organs. You're not pressing down on your eyeballs. You're not pressing down on your mouth. And you might initially start the practice and feel tense like that, but just relax as you go. So now we're going to do the practice with the full mudra. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. And on our exhale, we're going to intonate a hum for as long as is comfortable. And we'll take another breath in and do the remaining 2. 3 breaths. Let's begin. you've also finished, just take a moment here to listen. You can gently start to open the eyes, take in the room around you. And like I said before, give yourself a little bit of time after practicing Brahmari breath to listen to the sound, which should become very clear, crisp for you to listen to. It gets very quiet in this practice. So my recommendation, if you want to adopt a Brahmari practice in your life, is that you start with 7 easy hum breaths. And each day you add another breath until you reach 17. And at 17 is a great place to stop and maintain a daily practice of 17 Brahmari breaths. I hope you enjoyed this practice. I hope it was useful for you. Thanks so much for coming by and digging in. And if you want more pranayama practices, just search around the YouTube channel. We've definitely got a bunch more. Take care.